The dark space stretched endlessly around the small ship of the Xyrath explorers. It was a silent journey through the stars, filled only with soft hums of the ship's engines and the blinking lights of control panels. The Xyrath, a proud and advanced alien race, had traveled many light years to reach a new world called Earth. They expected little. For centuries, the Xyrath believed they were the first truly intelligent beings in the galaxy. Their history books told stories of how they rose from simple creatures to masters of technology and space travel. Other planets they visited had only simple life or nothing at all. Earth was just one more dot on their map, a quiet blue planet. Captain. Lyrak stood before the large window of the ship's control room. She looked at the swirling clouds and wide oceans below. "So small," she said quietly. "What could be here that matters?" Her second-in-command, Jalen, tapped the screen. Initial scans show strange energy readings beneath the surface, but nothing dangerous. It might just be natural. The crew had been trained to be careful but curious. No Xyrath had ever stopped on a new planet without careful study. They scanned for life, resources, and dangers. This planet had a perfect mix of water, land, and air. It looked like it could support life easily. "Prepare a landing team," Lyrak ordered. "I want to see this place up close." The ship slowly moved toward the surface. Outside, green forests, blue oceans, and white mountains came into view. It was beautiful and peaceful. As the landing team prepared their gear, Lyrak looked at the data. The energy signals seemed to come from deep underground, from a place the surface world had hidden well. It did not match anything the Xyrath had seen before. The team landed on a flat plain near a wide river. The air was fresh and cool. Birds flew overhead, and strange animals watched from the trees. The Xyrath wore their exploration suits, designed to protect but allow easy movement. Jalen pointed at the ground. "The energy readings are strongest just a few meters below us." The explorers began digging carefully. Their tools cut through soil and rock with ease, but soon they hit something hard. "What is this?" one of them asked, shining a light. On a smooth surface. It was a large flat stone with strange markings carved into it. The shapes looked like symbols, but none of the Xyrath recognized them. Lyrak touched the stone lightly. "These are not natural. Something built this." The team worked quickly, clearing more soil and revealing more stones, arranged in a pattern like a wall or a floor. "An old ruin," Jalen said, his voice full of wonder. Lyrak's mind raced. If this planet has a history, maybe we are not the first after all. The Xyrath had always believed their race was the start of intelligence in this part of the galaxy, but these ruins suggested otherwise. What if Earth had been home to an ancient civilization, lost and forgotten? The team found an entrance leading down into darkness. They turned on their lights and stepped inside. The air was cooler underground. The walls were smooth and covered with more symbols. The Xyrath studied them carefully. Some symbols showed stars and planets. Others looked like machines or strange animals. "This is incredible," said one explorer, her voice echoing. "We found proof of a smart species before us." Lyrak nodded. "We must be careful. We don't know what else is here." As they moved deeper, the tunnel opened into a large chamber. In the center stood a tall stone statue. It looked like a being with 2 arms and legs, but with a strange face and big eyes. The explorers felt a strange feeling, respect mixed with curiosity. The statue was a symbol of something important, but what? Jalen checked the readings again. "Energy levels spike here. Something is powering this place." Suddenly, a low hum began to fill the room. Lights on the walls flickered on, revealing more carvings and shapes. "It's waking up," Lyrak said, a little surprised. The Xyrath stood still, watching as the ancient technology slowly came to life. From the walls, soft lights pulsed like a heartbeat. The statue's eyes began to glow. The symbols on the floor shifted, showing a star map, a map of the galaxy, with many points marked. "This is a message," Jalen whispered. Lyrak studied the map. "It looks like a guide. But to what?" The explorers realized they had found something very old and very important, something that could change everything the Zirath believed about themselves. For now they were just visitors on this quiet planet. But what secrets would Earth reveal? And what story was hidden in the ruins beneath their feet? As the ship waited, above, the Zirath prepared for a new kind of journey, one into the mysteries of a world they never expected to find. The Zirath explorers gathered around the glowing star map, etched on the floor of the ancient chamber. The light from the statue's eyes cast long shadows on the walls, making the strange symbols feel alive. Captain Lyrak studied the map carefully, her mind racing with questions. "This map shows more than just our galaxy," Jalen said quietly. "There are markings far beyond our reach, places we have never heard of." Lyrak nodded slowly. This civilization must have been incredibly advanced. They knew about worlds even older than our oldest star charts. The team looked at each other, excitement growing. They had come expecting a quiet planet, maybe some simple life forms. Instead, they found evidence of an ancient race that had traveled far and knew much more than the Zirath had believed possible. "We need to explore further," Lyrak said. "Find out who these beings were and what happened to them." The explorers moved carefully, following a narrow corridor that led deeper underground. The walls were covered in strange paintings and carvings. Some showed tall beings with long arms reaching to the stars. Others depicted machines and glowing orbs that floated in the sky. Jalen stopped and touched a carving that looked like a tree with lights instead of leaves. "These symbols, they tell a story, but it's hard to..." Lyrak scanned the images. "Maybe it is not just a story. Maybe it is a record of their history, their science." They came to a large room filled with strange devices, covered in dust but still humming faintly with energy. The explorers looked in awe. The technology was unlike anything they had seen before. One device had a crystal at its center that glowed softly. When Jalen placed his hand near it, the crystal responded, shining brighter and projecting a holographic image into the air. The image showed a great city with tall towers and flying machines. It was a place of wonder, but the city began to fade and crumble, replaced by darkness and silence. Lyrak's voice was low. "This must be their home, lost long ago." As they watched, the hologram changed to show a star system. A bright sun sat at its center, surrounded by many planets. One planet was marked with a symbol that looked like a seed, a sign of life. "This is where they came from," Jalen said. "Their original world." Suddenly, the room shook slightly. Dust fell from the ceiling. The explorers froze. "Earth's crust is unstable here," Lyrak warned. "We should move quickly." But before they left, another image appeared. A message. It showed a being that looked much like the statue, raising its arm as if to greet or warn. A voice spoke in a language the Zirath could not understand, but their translators worked fast, giving rough meaning. "We were the first ones, guardians of knowledge. When darkness came, we hid our secrets for those who would follow. Only those worthy would find the way." The explorers felt a chill. This was a test, a challenge set by a long-lost civilization. "We must prove ourselves," Lyrak said. "If we want to learn more, we need to be ready." The team found another door hidden behind a wall of carvings. It led to a deep chamber with strange shapes glowing faintly in the darkness. Jalen's scanner picked up more energy signals here. This place is alive somehow. As they stepped inside, the floor lit up beneath their feet, showing patterns, like a giant puzzle. "We are not just visitors," Lyrak said. "We are part of this now." The explorers worked together, using logic and creativity to solve the puzzle. Each correct step unlocked more of the chamber, revealing more about the ancient race. They learned that these beings had traveled between stars, sharing knowledge and protecting the galaxy from threats unknown. Their civilization had been peaceful and wise, but something had caused their end. "We don't know what that was," Jalen said, "but it was powerful enough to erase their presence from history." The team's respect for these ancient beings grew. The Zirath realized they had found something precious, not just ruins, but a legacy. Outside, the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the Earth's surface. The explorers knew their mission was far from over. As they returned to the ship, Lyrak looked once more at the glowing map. This planet is more than it seems. It is a place of beginnings and secrets. The Zirath were no longer the galaxy's first. They were now the Seekers, explorers of a past that might one day change the future. The Zirath explorers gathered once again in the chamber deep beneath the Earth's surface. The walls seemed to hum softly with ancient energy, and the air was thick with mystery. Captain Lyrak studied the strange symbols etched into the stones, around them her eyes tracing their curves and lines. "These markings," she said slowly, "are more than just decoration. They are a message, one left for anyone who comes after." Jalen, her second-in-command, nodded. "I have never seen anything like this. It's as if the stones themselves are speaking." The explorers had brought advanced translation devices, but these symbols challenged even their technology. The language was old, layered with meaning beyond words. Still, the team worked tirelessly, piecing together the message. The stones told the story of a great civilization, Earth's original inhabitants, who had risen to power millions of years ago. They were not just intelligent, they were wise and kind. They built cities that touched the sky and machines that could travel among the stars. Their knowledge of science and life was unmatched, but their story was also a warning. Darkness had come to their world, something unknown and terrible. To protect their knowledge and future, the ancient beings hid their secrets deep beneath the earth. They created puzzles and guardians to keep the knowledge safe from those who were not ready. Lyrak looked at the message carefully. They wanted only the worthy to find their secrets. This is a challenge, a test. Jalen pointed to a symbol of a circle with a dot at its center. This symbol appears often. Maybe it means life, or the core of something important. The team decided to explore further, searching for more clues. They moved through winding corridors, following the patterns on the walls. The deeper they went, the more the stones glowed with a soft blue light. In one chamber, they found a large stone tablet. It was covered with writing and images. The tablet showed scenes of stars, planets, and strange creatures. In the center was a figure standing with arms wide, welcoming or protecting. "This must be their leader," Jalen said, "or maybe a symbol of their people." Lyrak reached out to touch the tablet. The moment her fingers brushed the surface, the room changed. Holograms flickered to life, showing images and sounds from a time long past. They saw vast cities made of shining metal and glass. Machines moved like living beings, and strange lights filled the skies. People, tall and graceful, worked together, creating art, music, and science. But then the images darkened. Fires burned, the cities crumbled, the people vanished. The last scene was a message. "To those who come after, learn from us. Be strong. Be kind. Protect what you love." Lyrak's voice was soft but firm. "This is not just history. It's a lesson." The team understood the importance of their discovery. Earth was not a simple world. It was a place of great power and great responsibility. As they explored, they found devices that still worked, powered by energy unknown to the Zirath. Some machines could heal wounds or create food from thin air. Others could project images and memories. The ancient civilization had been far ahead of the Zirath in many ways, but with all this wonder came questions. What had caused their fall? Why had they disappeared? And were these secrets safe to use? Lyrak gathered the team. "We must be careful. This knowledge could change everything. We need to learn more before making any decisions." Jalen agreed. "And we must respect the people who came before. They left this message for a reason." The explorers continued their work, documenting everything. They sent reports back to their home world, sharing the discovery with scientists and leaders. The Zirath were amazed and humbled. They had thought themselves alone, the first of their kind. But now, they knew Earth held a history far older and richer than anyone had imagined. As they prepared to leave the chamber, Lyrak paused and looked back at the glowing stones. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "The Ancient Ones left us a path. It is up to us to follow it wisely." The explorers returned to the surface, carrying with them the secrets of a lost civilization, a secret that could change the future of all life. The Xyrath explorers returned to the ancient ruins with a new sense of purpose. Captain Lyrak led her team carefully through the dark tunnels, their lights cutting through the shadows. They had already uncovered much about the lost civilization, but the heart of the mystery still waited ahead. Jalen checked the energy readings on his device. "There's something powerful down here, stronger than before." The path led them to a massive chamber, larger than any they had seen. The walls were lined with strange machines humming softly as if alive. In the center stood a pedestal with a glowing object, a crystal that pulsed with light. Lyrak stepped closer. This must be part of their greatest technology. The crystal seemed to respond to her presence, shining brighter. As the explorers approached, the machines around the room began to move, releasing soft lights and strange sounds. "This place is active," Jalen said, eyes wide. "It's like the ruins are waking up." The team realized that the ancient builders had designed this chamber not just as a vault, but as a test, a way to measure those who came seeking their secrets. Suddenly, a series of symbols lit up on the walls, forming a pattern. The explorers understood this was a puzzle, one they had to solve to unlock the full power of the chamber. Lyrak studied the symbols carefully. These are not just signs, they are instructions. The team began working together, combining their knowledge and skills. Each correct answer made the machines hum louder, and the crystal glow stronger. Hours passed, but the explorers did not give up. Their determination impressed even Lyrak, who rarely showed surprise. At last, the final symbol lit up, and the crystal burst with light. A holographic image appeared, showing the ancient beings as they once were, bright, alive, and full of energy. The image spoke in a calm voice, translated by the Xyrath's devices. "To those who find us, know this. Our legacy is a gift and a responsibility. We left behind knowledge and power, but only those who show wisdom and unity may use it. Prove your worth, and the secrets of the stars will be yours." Lyrak nodded, feeling the weight of the message. "This is more than technology. It is a challenge to our spirit." The chamber's energy spread through the explorers, filling them with new strength and hope. They knew this legacy could change their future, but the test was not over. The hologram shifted to show a new puzzle, one of cooperation and trust. The explorers had to work as one, sharing ideas and helping each other. It was a test of their teamwork, not just their knowledge. They succeeded, and the chamber revealed more secrets, advanced machines that could heal wounds, devices that created energy from nothing, and libraries of knowledge stored in light. The Xyrath realized the ancient civilization had reached heights beyond their imagination. They had been guardians of peace and progress, leaving behind tools to help future beings. As the explorers prepared to leave the chamber, Lyrak looked at her team with pride. "We have been tested and found worthy. Now it is our turn to carry this legacy." The journey back to the surface was filled with quiet hope. The Xyrath knew they had discovered not just a lost civilization, but a new path for their own people. Earth was no longer just a small, quiet planet. It was a beacon of knowledge and power, waiting for those brave enough to embrace it. The explorers returned to their ship, carrying the ancient knowledge and technology deep within their hearts. Captain Lyrak sat alone in the observation deck, staring at the blue and green planet below. The weight of their discovery pressed heavily on her mind. For centuries, the Xyrath believed they were the first and greatest civilization in the galaxy. But now, all their pride felt different. Earth was not a simple world. It was the home of a civilization older and wiser than they had imagined. Jalen entered quietly, holding a small device containing the data they had collected. "Captain, this changes everything. Lyrak nodded. We thought we were the first, but now we know the truth. There were those who came before us and they left a legacy far greater than we expected. The crew gathered in the ship's briefing room. Lyrak addressed them, her voice steady but filled with awe. We have uncovered a secret of this world that could change how we see ourselves in the universe. We are not alone in our intelligence or strength. Jalen showed the holographic map again, highlighting the star systems connected to the ancient civilization. Their knowledge reaches far beyond Earth. Their technology could help us explore new worlds, solve great problems. But the captain warned, with great knowledge comes great responsibility. We must respect what we have found and use it wisely. The explorers agreed. They had learned from the messages in the ruins that power without wisdom could lead to destruction. Days passed as the crew studied the ancient technology. They discovered machines that could heal wounds faster than any medicine, energy sources that never ran out, and devices that could protect entire cities. The more they learned, the more they respected the civilization that created these wonders. They were not conquerors but guardians. They used their power to protect and build, not to destroy. One evening, Lyrak stood by the ship's window and spoke softly. We must honor their memory by being better, stronger, and kinder. We cannot let their story end in darkness. Jalen agreed. We have a chance to learn from their successes and mistakes. The crew decided to send a message back to their home world, sharing the discovery and asking for help to protect Earth's secret. Meanwhile, the explorers prepared to return to the ruins. They wanted to find more answers, to learn how this civilization had disappeared and what dangers might still lie hidden. As they descended back into the tunnels, a feeling of deep respect filled them. They were walking the path of giants. Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected unusual signals from the surface. Lyrak looked at the readouts, her eyes narrowing. There may be others interested in this secret. We are not alone. The explorers realized that Earth's ancient legacy could attract attention from many corners of the galaxy. Protecting it would not be easy, but with the lessons learned from the ruins, they felt ready to face whatever challenges came next. Lyrak took a deep breath and said, We came here thinking we were the first. Now we know better. It is time to act with respect, wisdom, and courage. The stars outside the ship shone brightly, as if reminding them that the universe held more mysteries than any one race could understand. And on Earth, the ancient secret waited quietly, ready to be discovered by those worthy enough to claim it. The Zyreth ship hovered above the Earth's surface as the sun rose, casting a warm glow over the forests and oceans below. Captain Lyrak stood on the observation deck, feeling a mixture of hope and responsibility. The discoveries they had made in the ancient ruins had changed everything, not just their knowledge but their place in the universe. Captain, Jalen said, approaching quietly, we have received a response from home. The leaders are eager to learn more and want to send a team to assist. Lyrak smiled faintly. This is a new beginning. We must prepare carefully. Earth's secret is too important to fall into the wrong hands. The crew worked tirelessly to secure the ruins and protect the technology they had found. They installed sensors and created safe zones to monitor any activity on the planet. Earth was no longer just a quiet blue world. It was a key to knowledge that could shape the future. One evening, while reviewing the data, Lyrak discovered a hidden chamber deep within the ruins. The entrance had been sealed for millions of years, but now the ancient technology recognized their presence and slowly opened. Inside, they found a message addressed directly to the seekers of truth, those who would come after the ancient civilization. The message spoke of hope and unity. It explained that the ancient beings had once faced great threats but believed in the power of friendship and cooperation to overcome any challenge. It is a call to join together, Lyrak said, softly, not just as explorers but as allies. The idea took hold quickly among the crew. They realized that Earth's secret was not just a prize but a responsibility to build something greater. As the Zyreth prepared to contact humanity, they sent a small probe carrying greetings and messages of peace. The probe was designed to reach Earth's emerging space programs and show that they came as friends, not conquerors. Back on Earth, the probe was discovered by scientists who had just begun to explore the mysteries beneath the planet's surface. The message sparked excitement and cautious hope. Lyrak and her crew waited patiently for a reply, knowing that building trust would take time. Meanwhile, they continued to study the ancient technology, learning more about how to use it wisely. They shared their findings with their homeworld, emphasizing respect and cooperation. One day, a message came from Earth, a greeting filled with curiosity and a desire to understand. It was a small step, but it meant the beginning of communication. Lyrak smiled. We thought we were alone, but now we see the future is shared. The alliance between the Xyrath and humanity began slowly but steadily. Both sides exchanged knowledge and culture, learning from each other's strengths. The ancient secret of Earth had brought them together, not as rivals, but as partners. Captain Lyrak stood once more on the observation deck, looking at the stars. The universe was vast, and their journey was just beginning. Together they would explore the mysteries ahead, guided by the wisdom of those who came before. And in the quiet depths of the Earth, the ancient legacy waited, ready to inspire. A new chapter in the story of life among the stars.